In the field of evolutionary biology, we very often discuss about homology and analogy. These two terms are concerned with the evidences of organic evolution. So let us have a very clear idea that what does this homology and analogy mean. Homology that deals with homologous structures. Homologous structures are those structures which have different forms in different organisms but developed from the same embryonic tissues. That is, their origin pattern is same. But since structurally they show variation among the closely related groups of animals, then such structures are mainly used to perform different functions. The examples of homologous organs can be four limbs in mammals. And see, the homologous organs are the best example of divergent evolution, that during the course of evolutionary time scale, the groups of animals which had common ancestry, they actually got adapted to different areas in different geographical portions of the world, and they experienced modification in their specific organs so that they can adapt in such conditions. See here in this diagram, the four limbs of different mammals are shown, like this one is four limb of a human, this is of a cat, this one is of whale, and here this one is of bat. Only the internal support, internal skeleton is shown in this diagram. If you see such structures in their real shape, what you will find that we use our four limbs in performing a number of functions. We can manipulate different functions by using our fingers, and our hand is capable to perform a lot of functions. But a cat uses its four limbs or hind limbs, both means limbs, for running purpose, means she is well adapted for cursorial mode of life. She can even climb on some uh, structures, certain buildings or certain structures they are capable to jump and climb. A whale is adapted for its aquatic mode of life. See these phalanges of structures which are seen here. These structures, they are covered with a skin flap and used as oar to move the water. So they are efficient swimmers. They can swim in the water. And a bat, its four limbs are modified into wings, so it can efficiently fly. So it is adapted for aerial mode of life. So all these are mammals. They belong to a common group of animals, that is class Mammalia, that includes all these. Mammals, they might have evolved from some reptile, but then they got distributed in different areas of the world and were actually adapted to live different kinds of life. So accordingly, they showed modifications in their forelimb, and that is why such structures, that is forelimb, in these mammals could be considered as homologous organs. That, and if you see the development of our limb or the limb of other mammals like this one, you will find that the pattern of their development will be exactly same. See here the internal skeletal support, that is almost similar in all these cases. In all these cases, you find the presence of humerus bone, presence of radius ulna. In all these cases, these two bones are there. Then there may be reduction in carpals, metacarpals, or phalanges, or they could be highly elongated just to give support to a flap-like structure. So all these things happen because they are adapted to different mode of life. So this is the best example of divergent evolution. We can say that they show adaptive radiation. Then the other structures are analogous structures, that is unrelated organisms, those organisms which have different phylogenetic history. They evolve similar organs independently when adapted to similar environment. And the examples uh, could be wings of bird and wings of an insect. See here, birds, they are vertebrates. A bird is actually a vertebrate, and insects, they are arthropod, means there is no connection between the two. We can say that insects evolved very early in the uh, evolutionary history. Birds, they came very later. It was a reptilian ancestor who gave rise to birds. Birds are adapted for aerial mode of life. Some insects, they are also adapted for aerial mode of life. If we compare the wing of a bird and insect, we may find similarity in the grass structure, but their origin pattern is same. I'm sorry, origin pattern will be very different. So what we find that those structures which have a very different kind of origin pattern, but in grass look or structure they show similarity and they perform similar function, then such structures are analogous structures, and they are the best example of convergent evolution. That is, animals of two different groups, they get diverged for similar kind of life, for living a similar mode of life. So in this diagram you can see that this one is wing of a bird and this is wing of an insect, means fore and hind wings of a moth, suppose that is given. So structurally these the wing looks similar in these two different types of animals, but they perform same function. So such kind of thing is known as analogy or analogous organs. An example of this convergent evolution.